Hi! Welcome back to Adri's Homestead Life. In this vlog we are going to plant out some brassica. We are going to plant out cauliflower, greyhound cabbage and red cabbages. You know the area where we harvested the onion, that's where the brassica goes. Also we are going to harvest some peas and we're going to freeze dry. In fact, we are going to have a freeze drying marathon. What I mean by that, we're going to freeze dry a lot today. We're going to freeze dry flowers, nasturtium, calendula, borage and a lot more, mullein. We're also going to freeze dry celery, kohlrabi, garlic, onion, pepper and a lot more. Also, I would like to show you what my fruit cage looks like in July. So if you're interested of any of these, come along. So I've cleared this bed, all the onion has now gone, and I am using this bed for the rest of the summer and autumn to plant brassica. So I'm gonna have 2 rows of brassicas. I'm gonna have 1 row of red cabbage. I'm gonna plant 6 of these red cabbages, and on the other side I'm going to have 2 cabbage F1 cabbages and 3 greyhound. So we are going to plant the red cabbages. I am making deep enough holes to plant those red cabbages quite deep in with their stem nicely firmed. I've got my little dog giving me some love here. Oh, she's like, give me a hug. She just wants to be with me all the time. Right, I am leaving about good 40 centimeters between the plants. Although the red cabbages don't grow, let's for example that huge size like the greyhound would, but I try to not to overcrowd it, so I'll put about 5-6 in that 1 row, and I just firm it in nicely. Firm it in. I'm on the other side now. I've just done the cauliflower. I'm finishing off doing the greyhound. All the jobs done. I'm just putting in the last greyhound. Pound it down, firm it in. And all the cabbages are now planted. Let's put the hoops in. This bent rebar works really well for me. If I use like a 1 row, I'll use like 6 of these rebar and cover it with wire mesh. In this case I'm doing a double row because I've got 2 rows of cabbages. The reason I'm doing it this way because of the length of my wire mesh, it just beautifully covers the 2 rows. So I'm firming them in nicely. Push them in so withstand the wind, because this will be in here now for quite a few months, probably through the autumn. Okay. Again, I probably put every 80 centimeter to 1 meter one of this hoop. So I'll be putting in 5-6. Make sure it covers all the cabbages underneath. I can just see the cabbage butterfly. So that's why we need this in wire mesh. So the white cabbage butterfly cannot go in, the dog's out. The dogs love playing in this mesh. They think it's so much fun. It's not easy to put this on my own, but I always get there on the end. Make sure I cover every inch and there is no access to unwanted visitors. Okay, that's nearly covered. Next I'm going to use some bricks and pegs, and we are, oops, sunflower there. I don't want to cover the sunflower. Right, I think I'm gonna go around to make sure it's nice and tight. Because if I don't make it nice and tight, you know, the rain and the snow on it will just push it down and could eventually break the cabbage. So if I make it nice and firm, using these pegs on those rebars, just works as a treat. Right, I think I'm done. Just check in, make sure it's sturdy, strong enough. I do put the pegs some on the top and some right in the bottom. And then I try to put bricks on every meter and a half. Just fold it under and I put the bricks on the top of it on the ground. And just put one more peg on the bottom there. And our job is done. And I think I'm fairly happy with the results because I've got the thumbs up. So we are on the other side of the garden now. That's where we harvested end of June the garlic. I've bought a couple of inches of homemade compost, and we're going to plant leek in here next. We're going to give a good soak. Right, let's plant the leek next. I'm going to plant this leek in 2 rows. I've sowed these seeds quite early in spring because leek does take long from seed sowing until harvesting. Because these leek now, actually it's our fall crop. As I've explained, this was our garlic bed. Again, the garlic has been planted last year, autumn, and we've just harvested in end of June, and now it's beginning of July. Now we're gonna plant the leek, and we're going to harvest this leek in autumn, winter time. I can hear my turkeys in the background. But yeah, again, you know, the leek won't grow too big. Probably will grow bigger than would an onion grow, so I'll just keep enough space for it. It's a lovely day today, nice and warm, lovely summer's day. On both sides of this bed looks a bit of a jungle. On the left I've got beetroot, and on the right I've got all sorts that really needs to be tidied up and planted with something else. Because now we're well into, it's only July, and now as you can see we're well into planting our fall garden. Oops, I think I finished with the one module tray. Now I finished planting the leek. I've also planted some flowers in the border. I've got seashell cosmos and one marigold. And I'm just gonna give them another good soak and the job's done. We are harvesting życiowa pepper today, and I'm going to make paprika powder. So we're going to wash and cut these up and freeze dry it. And I have got an experiment going on in my head, so I really would like to try something. I'm only picking the ones what really, you know, ripe. So the deep red oak. Make sure I'm picking only the życiowa. So I don't want to pick anything on the ripe. There is one here. I'm going to put this in a freeze dryer. Look. I am picking these. They really need to be picked up. As you can see, they really going over. So I'll try to pick all the peas. It's nicely, I call it fat peas, you know. I can hear thunder. Not sure if you can hear it. So I better hurry up. But I've also, after I picked all the peas, I've got a few leftover pea plants, so I would like to put this in the ground. And hopefully we can have more pea later on. I was thinking, what shall I do with it? Shall I just chuck it in a freeze dryer or can it? I think it all depends how much I'm gonna have. If I'm gonna have quite a bit, it's worth to can. I would rather can, but if I'm only going to have like a quart or 2 quarts jar full, probably I'm just gonna stick it to the freeze dryer. We are going to freeze dry peppers, garlic and onion and peas. So I'm going to turn the freeze dryer on and we've got 15 minutes until our freeze dryer cools down before we can load the food. So let's get the food ready. I've already prepared everything, so I've been harvesting some peas. I pre-bought these parchment papers. What is the size of this? Should be the size of this. Yeah, it's perfect for my trays. That would just make cleaning a lot more easier and take the products out. So I'm just going to put this in the tray and let's load the food. So we've got, let's try with peas, it's the easiest. I've decided to freeze dry these peas because I've already started to have some nuggets in it. So I had to throw so much away. This moth problem I'm having for years, to be honest. I I'm gutted, but so what I managed to save literally like, look, a tray full of these peas. So we're going to freeze dry the peas. I've cut up all these onions, sorry, garlic. We're gonna make garlic powder. I've also cut up some onions. You know what, we've harvested those onions, and I'm using up first the ones what, you know, gone to seed, so they would not store for long anyway. So we've got the onions. Got the garlic, the onions, and then we've got the pepper, the życiowa pepper. I'm going to do a bit of an experiment with it. So I've just put some liquid smoke on it. Smells delicious. Let's see how that's gonna turn out. I'm so curious how that's gonna turn out, you know. So we're just waiting on the freeze dryer to cool down 15 minutes, and we are going to load all this yummy food in there. My freeze dryer is now ready to load trays. Peas on the top, garlic and onion in the middle, and the pepper in the bottom. See you when it's all done. Let's put the mullen, the nasturtium, calendula, borage and a bit of lavender next into the freeze dryer. Right, freeze dryer just finished. It took exactly 24 hours to freeze dry. I like to take pictures so I know how long it takes. Certain food, because all food takes different time. So I open the drain valve, and now this is ready to come out. It's a bit loud because the other one is still on, but I'll show you. Though that's the peas. Oh, smells gorgeous. I know what smells gorgeous in here. I am so excited about this. Oh, that's the paprika pepper. So we've got onion. Onion is absolutely one of my favorite freeze dry. And garlic. Next we're going to freeze dry kohlrabi and celery. That's a fresh kohlrabi. I've just cut it up, straight row in, and celery, washed and chopped. Smells amazing in here. All this freeze-dried stuff. Close the drain valve. celery greens, the celery top is done. Welcome to the fruit cage in July. Have a look at this. If you're brave enough to come in. This is now an official jungle of a fruit cage. I'll quickly tell you what I've got growing in here so far. I've got gooseberry, I've got a couple of different varieties of raspberry, grapes, I've got loganberry, goji berry, honeyberry, yeah, and a few more. Oh, look at this. It's ready to harvest again, this loganberry. That's been the past few years. It gave us an amazing harvest. Wow. It's for the cameraman and mom for me. Bit tart. It's lovely. Actually, I've not had the best strawberry year. We did have some, so I've made a couple of Victoria sponges, a little bit of a fresh eating, and I've made 4 jars of strawberry jam. Delicious. So I'm very happy. But I was hoping for a bit more, because you can't get enough of strawberries. But I've done a mixed berry jam, so strawberry, loganberry and raspberry and a bit of gooseberry, and that is delicious. So I'm very happy. Right, there's no point to coming in here because you can't. So, but that's it. Sun is still there, so leave it open for a bit. Have a little wander. Behind you, what I've done, and I'm hoping for next year I'm gonna have a very good strawberry harvest in here. Because this year I've moved some of my medium strawberry raised bed, quite a few runners to this bed. They already are spreading like crazy. The mistake what I've made in here, I should have not probably put the blueberries, because they just either don't like each other's company or I don't know what's happened, but 2 is looking dead. So yeah, I'm hopeful that next year this is gonna be a very good strawberry bed. And I'm also planning to do another bed somewhere here, we can, or maybe a few if we can stick a few in. But this is the main strawberry, so that's what produced for us about 3 kilograms of fruit this year, but they are getting smaller, you know. So the size of the strawberries in here, it's still got some on it, it's still fruiting, but it is, I'm going to see if it's no animal in there, no. It's still, it is small, very small, because it's so overcrowded, you know. So what I need to do, I really need to take half of this out, make another 2 bed, and so on. Right, next to us, I think we did have a good asparagus year. I think it's the best so far. It wasn't loads, but it kept us going for quite a few weeks in the spring. But now it's already going over, making, you know, these little berries going to seed. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it now. When it all goes dry, I'll cut it back, chop it up, leave it on the top. I did put some coriander in here. Slowly it's coming up now. Look. So there's a little row of coriander babies, because when I'm gonna have some tomatillo coming in, I need to make some salsa verde sauce and enchiladas, and we need some coriander. Right, next to it we've got the horseradish bed and the rhubarb. We did have a okay rhubarb harvest this year, but the reason we've not had enough because this is now totally overgrown by the horseradish. So in the fall I'll need to dig this up and need to make a new rhubarb bed. But the horseradish are doing really well. And this is the flower bed. So we've got salvia in the middle, what I bought in a garden as well when we visited it. And delphinium, some calendula, but the main flower in this bed so far is the echinacea. So yeah, I think that's it. We have been freeze drying so much of the past few weeks. We've done the garlic and onion and this życiowa paprika pepper today, and we are going back to the kitchen and I would like to powder this down using my coffee grinder. I am so curious what this paprika pepper is gonna look like. I know the garlic and the onion is gonna be amazing because I've been trialing that for a while, so that's gonna be good. And the onion, we're gonna make onion powder. So I hope you enjoyed the vlog. I really enjoy showing you all these, goodies, what I can grow and what we can cook together, and basically just a bit of a skill what with a little bit of effort we can all do to make our life easier and to not to be dependent, to always go out and rely on supermarkets. So we are going to harvest the honey soon. Our supers are getting full, so if you're interested, come along with me. Probably it's gonna happen in the next couple of days, and let's see how much honey we can harvest. Also, I've been busy making cheese. We've made some cheese together, and what I've been doing, I've started waxing the cheese, and aging the cheese, putting in cheese cave. In my case, I'm using like a wine fridge and controlling the temperatures in there. So I've got a cheddar and a Monterey Jack cheese aging there. We are going to try this together in a couple of months' time. I hope you enjoyed the vlog and I hope you are having a fantastic year. See you very soon. Bye friends. And we just finished powdering the garlic, onion and paprika pepper. I'll show you the end result. I love doing this way, because I do grow onions for a whole year and they don't last more than about max 6 months. And this way, it's just such a good addition to my kitchen. And this is a new one. It's just my smoked paprika pepper. So I grew this pepper and I put a little bit of this liquid smoke for flavor, and let me tell you, it is delicious. I think it's gonna be one of my favorite. I've also made some lemon balm tea, fresh lemon balm from the garden. Just poured some warm water over it and sweetened it with our honey.